Welcome back to another unboxing video at Battlegrounds Game Center. I'm Patrick, and today we're going to be taking a look at Senjutsu, Battle for Japan, the all-in deluxe edition big box. This is a really cool game. It is a 1 to 4 player skirmish style game where you're going to be using cards to move around a board, attack the other players, but it's all about your positioning and how you have your character angled. This big box comes with the base game, but it also has all the expansions that they had on the Kickstarter, the mats, the neoprene mats, metal focus coins, tokens, and all that. So I've played this quite a few times, and it's a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see all of the new, because I've only played the core box, but I'm really excited to see all of the new additions here. There's a lot of deck building with this game, because if you've ever played Warhammer Underworlds, it has a kind of a similar feel where you're going to get a deck of cards and that are specific to your person, but you can also change them out and from all the different decks, like the basic cards, and really make a unique samurai to fight with. So let's get it open and see what comes inside. Looks like we got a slip here. Very cool. And then the box itself with its artwork. And I believe the back is pretty much the same as it was in the slip. Alright, so let's... this is a big box. Alright, so we've got a little sheet here for just covering up the game. Oh, this actually has card sleeves in it. I did not know that. That is really cool. I wish more games would just give you card sleeves. I really like that. Nice. Alright, so we got the rule book here. So it has a list of all the components that come in the base game. And all the different preface, gameplay review. Now, I have played this a few times. And the rule book, while fine, I wish it was a tiny bit better. But it is enough to get by. There's just some vagueness with some of the rules. But once you get into the flow of things, and you might have to look up a few examples online like I did. But once you understand it, it's actually a relatively simple system. There's a lot of cards and a lot of abilities that are happening. But it's a lot of fun. And I did mention earlier that it's 1 to 4 players, and that means there is a solo mode. You don't get a lot of skirmish games with a solo mode, so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get this game, because, you know, as you get older, sometimes you just can't play with other people. Like, sometimes you got to play games by yourself, and that's totally fine. There's actually like a little mini campaign, which we'll get to here in a second, but the rules themselves are pretty straightforward. How the AI functions is kind of cool, and there's a bunch of different deck constructions for the different type of AIs you want to go against. So yeah, that is the rule book. Has all the list of the different signature decks for the 4 main characters that come in this box. Really cool. Reference here for all the card abilities. That's the rule book. So speaking of solo campaign though, here is that solo campaign book I was talking about. One thing I really like about this is it's got like a little bit of a comic book story, but in the pages themselves, won't go through too much. It'll tell you how to set up the AI, what you're going to use in the AI, and it actually shows you how to set up the map. But one of the cool things I like about this is a lot of the pages are actually used in addition to the mats that come with the game. So you have a lot more unique setups when you're playing this campaign. And it's completely solo. There is a cooperative. Let's see here. I know there's a cooperative one towards the back. Yeah, there's some interesting artwork in here. But yeah, there's one where you can play solo, and there's one where you can play with 2 people. So it's a really cool campaign. Like, this is a really cool big board, and so instead of using any of the game mats, you just use the book. I like games that do that. It gives you some just additional ways to play. So there's that. And from what I can see here, there is another solo campaign book. Is it the same one? No, it's different. So the core game, the core box, if you get it, which we will have, we still have some of these big boxes, but we do have the core box, and it does come with this campaign. But it seems like there were some additional solo campaigns, which I've played through this one already. So now I'm really excited to maybe try this one. The artwork is still cool. It's actually got a little bit of different comic booky feel. That's really cool. But yeah, so those are the solo campaign books. And here are the gaming mats. So the base game comes with cardboard mats to play with. But the deluxe edition comes with neoprene for the different mats. So it's pretty small. Like you could fit this game on a small table, which I really like. That's really cool. Some of the punch outs. These are terrain punch outs. Like you got this cherry blossom tree. There's a shrine, and all the different tokens. This comes in the core game. I'm not gonna punch them all out right now, but there's even another punch out here for the bridge. So these guys are used in the solo mode. So you actually have, instead of facing off against one opponent, you're gonna be facing off against multiples. And this is like for the initiative track here. They're double-sided. I love the standees actually have their frontal artwork and then they have back artwork. I like it when games do that. All right, so push this over there. And see, yeah, so that's the original board, and then you got a neoprene mat if you get the deluxe edition. But that way, you actually have multiples. So if you wanted to create, one of the fun things about this game is very customizable. So if you want to make a really big, like, icy landscape, you can put them both together, put the bridge, however you want to do it. You can make some really cool battlefields. And this one actually comes with a big board for, like, a castle. So that is much bigger. So if you want to have a 4-player game, this is probably the board you'd want to use. It is only single-sided, but still, it's really cool. Ooh, I did not know that these were this was the washed one. Okay, so before I get to the minis, we have your deck of cards. So they all have the same back for the most part. And I'll kind of show you here. Just open one of these. They all pretty much look the same, but they all have different abilities. So we won't go through absolutely every single card because this is a deck building type game. Or like a constructed deck game. So there are a ton of cards with a ton of abilities. But to kind of give you a look at what one might look like. So when you're deck building, they'll have these different colors on the bottom, like wood, steel, gold, stuff like that. And the game will tell you how you can construct your decks, but you will have your initiative value here. This will basically determine how quick you're going to go during a combat. And then you'll have a top part and a bottom part. The top part will usually be more like movement, but not always. And it'll actually tell you a direction you have to go. And once we get to the minis, I'll show you there's like a little arrow on the hexes, and that's like you're facing. So depending on how it shows you which way you're going, you move if you're facing in the direction that you're currently in. So there's a lot of movement, like strategic positioning, because after you move, typically there's an attack. And the attack will have the little arrow here. It'll show you like which way you're facing, and then it'll show you how many wounds you do depending on like the hexes around you. So like you can move and somehow the person is actually to your right. You didn't program it correctly, and then you're just going to whiff and miss. But then again, there's also these additional abilities that are color coded based off like your focus, I believe is what it's called. And it's like stances. So if you're in like a certain stance, you can actually use that colored stance ability as well. So there's a lot of variety in the cards. So like that's one of the cards. So here's a defense card. Shows you how you block. It lets you, like, if you have the green stance, you can rotate and then you can block. So it's something to kind of like, you're trying to predict what your opponent's going to play, and it has a really good 1v1 feel of just sword clashing, and I really enjoy it. There are some characters that have like ranged abilities, but for the most part, it is swords against swords. And then the solo deck has like the purple bottoms here, and then this just shows you how the solo goes. So you can see they all have a very similar look. There's not a lot of art, but there is a lot of information, and it does seem overwhelming at first, but once you play a game or two, it becomes pretty second nature. So yeah, we're not going to go through all the cards today because, like I said, there's a lot, but so you can get an idea. Another stack. I'm pretty sure that's all the cores. the core box. You got standee tokens, so you got the color-coded hexes. More sleeves. Very nice. Okay. So that is okay. Oh. So we'll get to those in a second. So you got your card wells. Oh, here's the nicer. So instead of the tokens, here's the nice metal versions of those. Ooh, these are hefty. So one of these is used to track your stance. The other is used to track your initiative. Those are really nice, and they have like the nice. I don't know if you can really tell, but they have like a nice detail on them. And then these are the focus tokens, which are used. So like this card here actually has like you spend a focus, then you can do that ability. So as you play the game, you'll get these tokens, and it's kind of just like additional buffs you'll get. But no, these are nice. Pretty tiny, but they feel nice. So very cool. This is very much a deluxe-ified version of this game. I love it. So I didn't realize this box actually has the really nice pre-washed miniatures for the game. This was one of the options you could get on the Kickstarter, but nice. So yeah, if you can kind of see it, there's like an arrow here. That's basically your forward-facing, like if you're like looking forward. So when you're on the board, you'll kind of move around the hexes based off the orientation of your arrow. But there's one of the guys. Nice. I think that's the Ronin, maybe. Another guy, a little bendy, soft plastic, but nice. Looks really cool. There's a samurai. The watch is it's okay. I don't think it's best. It's not Awakened Realms quality, but it's fine. I would probably paint these at some point anyways, but if I don't, they do look cool. There's also terrain pieces like rocks here, a burning cart, which is pretty cool. So some bamboo, and they all have their own way that they function in game. So when you're by them, or if you can't move through them and so forth. This shrine is cool. Actually, if you're next to the shrine, you get focus tokens, which is cool. And then some additional, like, some traps here. Can't really tell too much, but they're like little spikes. Very cool. So that was the core box. And then the rest of this is everything that comes in like the little expansion boxes, which you could buy separately, but if you wanted, you could always get the... Wow, more sleeves. So many sleeves. That is so cool. I guess it's probably just enough to sleeve the whole game. Yojimbo. Wako. So that's some of the characters. Shows you like how many cards they have, what weapon options they start with, because you actually start with different weapons if they have special rules. Man, it's gonna take me forever to sleeve this, but there's a monk, assassin, a ninja. So many sleeves. Oh man, that is actually a very pleasant surprise, because I don't know if it said that there were sleeves on the box. So Kojiro. So this is like their initiative, I believe, and then how many cards I have. I don't remember which one this one is. It's been a few months since I played the game, so gotta look back into it and try out all the new goodies. So we got some boats here. Nice. This guy's pretty cool. I think this is like one of the ninjas. It's like spinning. Very cool. Oh. Nice. Ooh. There is a doggo. So if you wanted a dog mini, there's one in here. And it actually has an arrow, so I would assume it functions like one of the characters. Maybe like an ally or something. Ah, there is a baby. There is one of the, if you've ever seen Bear and Cub, there's basically that in this game as well. One of the characters is essentially that. So that's pretty good. This guy looks a little bit more European. Got a flintlock and a sword here. Straight sword. There you go, Yojimbo. Yeah, some of the weapons are a little wonky, but that's okay. It happens. Over the years, I've grown to be a little bit more okay with things like that. When I first got into the hobby, I was a little more like, oh no, there's bent weapons and all this stuff. But once you get into it and you have so much, it doesn't matter anymore. And nice. There's another one. So yeah, these look really cool. This whole box is pretty darn cool. So other than all these cards, which I am not opening, just because there's just so many, and I don't want to mix up things on accident. All right, so that is everything that comes in the Senjutsu Battle for Japan, all in Deluxe Edition Big Box. That is a mouthful, but you got all the core box, you have all the expansions, the neoprene mats, all these cards, all these sleeves, so much content in one little box. Well, not so little, but if you're interested in this game and you want to pick it up, you can always head over to our website at battlegroundsgamecenter.com. You can go to our online store through there, or you can stop into the store and check out and see what we got. I highly recommend this game. It's a lot of fun, and if you were looking for a quick, easy skirmish game to get into that takes about 15 to 30 minutes, this is a pretty good starting point. So thank you guys again for stopping in to take a look at this unboxing today, and if you like this content and you want to see more like it, go ahead and like and subscribe. We have a lot of fun plans for the channel, and we hope that you stick around and check it out. So until next time, I'm Patrick at Battlegrounds Game Center. See you later.